Good morning, you guys, it's Karen and I am back from my holiday. We had a nice week off. It was nice to not have any obligations, if you like, and it was lovely having Kev home. I had some health issues, one in particular that I'm very disappointed in myself about, and I'm going to do a whole video about that over on my Life as the Zebra channel. By the way, I will put where the review starts on the screen, and you can go to this description and click it if you want to get straight into the review of this. I just wanted to say a huge thank you for all the positive comments on my video about money. I forgot to say it in my last videos, but I truly appreciated that. It was literally just positive comment after positive comment, and you guys enjoyed the video a lot, so I'm really glad. You may remember I said in it how many times I tried to record it and that I'd probably forget something anyway, and I'm pretty sure I didn't talk about Patreon. I say that because I had 2 comments saying, why don't you start a Patreon channel? But I do have a Patreon channel already, I just don't advertise it very much. And so to give full disclosure, money from that I get between £50 and £100 a month, depending on how many Patreons I've got, because you can join, watch loads of videos and then leave and just kind of stay in the background for a while, and then you can see a video you want to see, joining and leave again, that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, thank you very much for all the positive comments, really appreciate it. The month of March is going to be all about my health, or the month of March onwards really, and I actually thought about not coming back to do a video today because there's so many things I need to do this week to kind of get into this, I wouldn't call it a health kick, but anyway, I need to be, you know, there's a lot of meals I'm going to be making. I'm going to make the gym a priority rather than making YouTube a priority. But I really wanted to get this video to you, and there's lots of videos I want to do for you guys, but it may be just a little bit slow over the next couple of weeks until I get into a better routine and know what I'm doing. So let's get into the review. I bought mine from Victoria Health and it was £18. I think I paid about £2.50 postage, so it was £20 overall. The main ingredient in this is squalane, apart from obviously the vitamin C derivatives that they're talking about. Then there is tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. Then there is thiotane at 2%. Sorry, the tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate is 3%, then thiotane at 2%, and then there is some optifen in there. There's some quite big claims on this. Their claims are that this will fight aging, reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, is firming and will even skin tone, is brightening and stimulates collagen. They say it's a lightweight product that easily absorbs. They said it's 100% stable, that it's quicker and better than L-ascorbic acid, so the vitamin C in its purest form, ascorbic acid, that it stimulates hyaluronic acid as well, and the other vitamin C's don't go as deep as this, so huge claims there. And the directions are to use AM or PM after water serums and wait to absorb before using your moisturiser. So I was really excited to get stuck into looking at the research around this, because I hadn't heard of it before, these ingredients, and they were making big claims, and I thought they, you know, won't make those big claims without there being some kind of evidence there. But there is pretty much zero evidence about any of these claims at all. There are some lab studies, but I can only find minor details about them. There is the study that is most referred to is one that uses ascorbic acid with the tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. So that's the one that's referred to a lot. If you look at any articles talking about this ingredient, which is, you know, the main one they're talking about is the ascorbate, let's just call it ascorbate at 3%. But there are no studies showing this used alone. It worked in conjunction with a study using ascorbic acid, so pure vitamin C. What they did was make a guess, basically. They theorized that the results were from this, the deeper results were from this, not from the ascorbic acid. But that's not what they were testing. They weren't testing this one against the ascorbic acid. They were testing one serum with this and ascorbic acid in it, not this serum, just that one ingredient, and seeing how it fared against a placebo or no treatment. I can't remember which they used, but like I said, it was just a guess. There wasn't any proof that this worked. It was just that the two of them together worked. There was another small study done in women using this ingredient plus retinol, but they used this at 30%, and bearing in mind this is 3%, and they used that in combination with 0.5% retinol. So again, doesn't really tell you anything about a 3% vitamin C derivative. So there is no evidence at all. There's a lot of claims that thiotane, the second ingredient that is 2% in here, repairs DNA, but again, zero evidence for it. The other ingredient, Optifen, is just a preservative. So yeah, there's zero evidence at all for this. And I actually, tried to look everywhere to find if there was anybody reviewing it or anybody saying anything. Brianna, I think her name's Brianna Stanko, did a video raving about this and saying that it was all of what it did, but she was basically repeating the claims that there are about the ingredient, but there is nothing to back that up at all. But she did say in her experience, her pigmentation, etc., has improved since using that ingredient, but she's using it in ones that are 85%. So it's ones that you mix with a moisturizer, from her own line. She promotes this skincare and sells it on her website. So other than that, no evidence. That being said, it doesn't mean that it isn't a good ingredient. It doesn't mean that it won't work. It is something that's looking promising from the lab studies. And it definitely works in conjunction with, or it looks like it will work in conjunction with retinol and ascorbic acid. But I imagine most people will want to buy it instead of an ascorbic acid. Maybe you could use it with your retinol though. The study that combined it with retinol, it didn't just have retinol in it, had 0.5% retinol, 30% of the main ingredient in here, the ascorbate, the tetrahexyl decylascorbate. And it also had bakuchiol in it and some kind of Japanese root. So this is the problem with all the studies, they're all mixed, but it sounds like it would be good to use it with retinol. That was a very small study. There was 44 women on it. It wasn't blind. It wasn't, there was no placebo control. It was just a study testing it, and they said how they felt their skin looked, and some photographs were taken and things like that. So not the greatest study, but it did seem to show a significant improvement in aging with that combination of retinol. This at 30%, which, like I said, this is 3%, and bakuchiol and some Japanese root. So after all that, what do I think? I probably need to do a video talking about evidence and how I make my decisions on whether I would use something even if it didn't have any evidence, that kind of thing. But I suppose at its most basic, it's how it feels on my skin and if I feel any improvement in my skin over time. I've only been using this for about a week and a half now, so it's not enough time to say whether I can see any improvements, and especially since I won't really be looking at pigmentation. I will be looking at fine lines and wrinkles though, but I'm also using differin. But let me tell you my feelings on this. I love the feel of it. I absolutely love the feel of it, and I wonder if I should try the ordinary squalane again, because when I tried it at first, I did not enjoy it. It felt like a very dry oil. But since then, I tried the bakuchiol in squalane from BYBI. And there was another one more recently where I said to you guys, oh, I love this one, and this is squalane. And now this is the third one that is squalane, and I love it. So I don't know whether the ordinary one is different or whether I just have changed my mind on that. But I love the way it feels. It feels really moisturizing. It is a lightweight one. It does absorb very quickly. You just have to wait a few minutes, and then that sort of greasiness has gone away. Not greasiness, it doesn't feel thick and, like it's going to clog up your skin or anything like that. But it does, it sinks in and your skin feels super soft. It's got a smell of petrol to me, which I don't know why. It's exactly what it smells like. Smells like I'm at a petrol pump. No idea why, because it doesn't list, it's not got any mineral oil or anything like that in it. So I've no idea which product is smelling like that. And it's not one that bothers me. Once I get it on my face, I can't smell it. It's just when I pump it into my hand. It's in a lovely little pump bottle, which I like. I think this would be a good product for you if you are not looking for drastic changes from a vitamin C. So if you're looking to address pigmentation, I would say go for an ascorbic acid if you can. But if you're not, but you would quite like to have a vitamin C in your routine, which is probably where I'm at, I think this one would be a good one, especially if you are irritated by ascorbic acid. For me personally, you know, I love the Ethyl Ascorbic Acid, which is a kind of warming, oily feel as well. It's a little bit different than this, but not too far off it. I would say that at the moment I'm enjoying this as much as I do my Ethyl Ascorbic Acid, but they're both derivatives. So if you're looking to address hyperpigmentation, I would say go for a pure ascorbic acid if you can. Something like the Timeless vitamin C. I am going to do a video on that, comparing it to the ordinary, or the ordinary one if you can tolerate it. Although I found a way to tolerate it, which I'll talk about in that video. And if you've got dry skin, it's a great oil to use. The only thing I would say about it is it says to use after water serums, which is absolutely fine. But if you then want to apply anything on top of this, such as a moisturizer, the moisturizer won't really penetrate through the oil. So you just need to use a basic moisturizer, if that makes sense, afterwards. Nothing you use after this will penetrate very easily because of the fact that this is in squalane. But that does also mean that it is very stable. Just having a look at their claims to see how many of them I agree with. And it is a stable, because it's in oil, it is a stable vitamin C. It is lightweight and it does absorb, but there is no evidence for it stimulating collagen, brightening, firming, evening out skin tone, the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, fights aging, quicker and better than ascorbic acid. Definitely, I don't know where they're getting that from. I can only think that they're getting it from the guesswork of the researchers on the study where they used it with ascorbic acid. And the other C's don't go as deep. I mean, other vitamin C's may not go as deep as we want to. It's a kind of ongoing problem with vitamin C, is how it's formulated, how it's going to get through the skin, you know, that kind of thing. But so far, I'm not sure that this is a standout, but it's promising. I really, really like this. And I have to say, I might even repurchase this, because I'm happy to use this with ascorbic acid, especially having seen, you know, the study results. I think it would be really nice to use. And especially if you're using an ascorbic acid and putting this on top, I think this would be quite soothing, because it's, you know, an oil and it's really going to hydrate your skin. So I do really like it as a product. I just don't agree with all the claims. I think that's everything to tell you about this one. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried it. Are you going to buy it? Are you going to use it? And yeah, that's everything. Let me tell you what I'm wearing. I have got on Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation in 3C. On my eyes is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, which is not the one that's in Superdrug, by the way. There's another one that's MUA, that's Makeup Artist, I believe, but Makeup Addiction Cosmetics is an online place where you buy pigments. This is a pigment called Cashmere Rose. On my cheeks is a blush by Buxom called Havana. And on my lips is a lipstick by Suva, which is called Awakening. I think that's everything. Earrings are from River Island. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.